Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Well, today we're going to do a Natural Disasters DLC special. Of course, Natural Disasters, the DLC which was released back in November 2016, and here I am in the summer of 2020, finally getting around to checking out the 3 maps that came with it. Now, there are some very solid standards within these 3 maps, but are they good maps? What I can tell you is they are like chalk and cheese and elephant droppings from each other. They are so very different. And the true paradox is that the best map is also the very worst map. You'll soon see what I mean. But before we get on and do any reviewing of the DLC maps, I've got a little favour to ask. Yes, it's time for your daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's very first map is Prussian Peaks from the Natural Disasters DLC. They will all be from the... You've worked that out for yourself, haven't you? Yep. Let's have a look at that start square. Looks okay from up here, but I'm telling you, this is a very challenging map. Very challenging. Resources, all the resources in all the 3 maps are very light. This is actually very exciting. Okay. Let's have a little look at this Boreal map. Now, Prussian Peaks. Why Prussian Peaks? Well, peaks because, well, it's hilly. Hillies are peaks, and we have a lot of hills on this map. Hills is what's going to make it a challenging map. Why Prussian, though? I'm not entirely sure why, other than for the alliteration. Certainly sounds a lot more romantic than Peterborough Peaks or Pennsylvania Peaks. Prussian Peaks, why not? Why not? Certainly as good a name as anyone would suggest. Certainly a better name than one of the other names we'll be coming up with a bit later on. Now, what we have here in terms of standards, but road laying is generally pretty good, apart from this little bit here, which is a little bit glitchy. You can't quite make it out because of the shadow. I'm not moving the sun just to show you that. There's no real point. The bridges, this is nearly a perfect bridge. If this was perfectly aligned for height at the bottom there, that would be a perfect bridge. And I'm going to tell you that virtually every single bridge that you see in today's show will be a strong bridge. I normally like to have a go, I like to have a laugh at the DLC bridges and the vanilla bridges because they are, well, they're hilarious really. But no, we've actually got some bridges made by somebody who's been outside and actually had a look at some real life bridges. There's your start square, which looks okay, but look at the hills. Let's get those lines of terrain on, and you can see it is really undulating, and this is just a start square. It doesn't get any flatter than this, so if you're looking for an undulating map, maybe this is one for you. Then you have here another. Now this is a perfect bridge. That is fine, perfectly fine. I'm liking this. Also, look at the shape of the mountain. This mountain on the left here, look at that. It's like the Toblerone mountain, aka the Matterhorn. Or is it Mont Blanc? I'm not sure it's the Matterhorn. Anyway, so what I'm saying is we have got some very good standards in terms of detailing, in terms of bridge laying, and I can buy into the shapes of the hills and the mountains as well. They are challenging though. Now we do have this second highway, which if you look, there's no traffic on it at all, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be traffic. I think it's just a game glitch at the moment, because this is connected at both ends. It isn't, however, connected with the other highway. So if you find a way of connecting this up across the rivers to the other highway through your city, then you're going to end up with a lot of traffic coming down through your city via this route. At the moment, it doesn't look like it because obviously there's no traffic on it. This bridge looks a little bit low and a little bit stretched, but even so, it is 1 trillion%. I've told you a million times, BonBon, don't exaggerate. 1 trillion% better than a lot of the DLC bridges that we have seen. And so, whoever made this, if you're watching this, creator of this map, take a little bow for that. I'm really impressed. The rail, have a look, hilly map, and it looks pretty flat. We do have a little bit of a hill climb coming up in a moment, right about here. And it's a bit steeper than I would be prepared to normally accept in a vanilla map. Suspension of disbelief and all that. Here it's climbing a little bit as well, and then we're going to drop right off. And again, this next bit is way too steep right there as we go past everybody's favourite factory because everybody uses it. I guess there's a limit to the amount of vanilla assets we can play with. Anyway, the rail does undulate. It's not truly realistic, but are we expecting true realism in a hilly map? I don't think so. Now, if you have a look at the water flow, we have a source coming down to there, and we have a water source coming down there, which diverges there. So we have a little bit of a break in the realism here. Also, if you have a look, I'd say that's the suspension of disbelief is gone there. I'd like to see a shipping route in there. Less so in this one, because if you have a look at the water flow here, there's a lot of water pouring out of this river, and I just don't feel it's safe. I also question the placement of this essential lighthouse, because look at how dangerous those waters were just to get to this point. I don't think you're going to really need a lighthouse to tell you that it's dangerous at that location, but hey ho. And in terms of detailing, other than everything you've seen, we've got, ooh, it's a castle, and as castles go right there, do you know what? Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's a solid castle. I'll live with that one. We've even got a little henge going on as well there as well. So all told, it's a hilly map with some pretty solid standards and some pretty solid detailing. Not breathtaking, very challenging, and just a little bit of a break in the belief with the river splitting as it does. All told though, I would say if you're looking for a challenging map, it's not a bad choice. I want to give it 3 out of 10. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Next one up is going to be very different indeed. Look at that. Now you've gone from virtually zero build space to virtually zero build space because of the water. Yeah, why not? Island hopping maps are all the rage and a bit of fun as well. This is the Archipelago from Natural Disasters DLC. You knew that already. Yeah, we have seen this before. I had a little look at this one when we were doing the speed builds, and this was an interesting take on the speed builds. Yeah, so that's your start square. There's your resources. It's forests. Okay, I told you, don't get excited about resources on these maps because there virtually aren't any. It's, I guess, concentrating on potential for disasters. And I guess, excuse me, with the Archipelago, the main disasters would be forest fires, which would be contained, I guess, by the fact that you're on islands. And of course, tsunamis. Those would be your main issues here, I would think. Again, the bridges look like they've been built by somebody who's seen a bridge before, which is always a help. Always a help. I personally probably wouldn't have gone with suspension bridges and just gone with the elevated bridge, but you know what, it's fine. And I guess it adds some elevation to a map which has everybody's favourite factory, which has 0 elevation real changes in it at all, apart from around the edge of the map where there's some slight hills around the edge, which are deep in fog, so you'll never see them. A little bend around here. We've got to be heading towards the start square soon. More island hopping here and here and here. The highways take up a lot of the space of these islands. And there's your start square. Look at that. First of all, look at the clipping of the jetty there. It's almost perfect. And the jetting here, I would say that is perfect. So we've got some solid detailing work here. But yes, that's everybody's essential lighthouse. I don't know my own words anymore. But yes, the highway here takes up most of the start square island. So I feel that I would have, well, tweaked that a little bit. Most of your build space is just gone. Plus you're going to build the bridge over there as well. I don't know how you're going to really access the highways, given the amount of space you can play with here. But I guess it's that's the thing you're playing with these little islands. It's how to squeeze things in. And there be your challenge on the map. The 4-link suspension bridge there, and then off towards the edge of the map again. Now we do have shipping route, and I was really worried about this one because the bridges are really low. But if you follow the shipping, there is a second shipping route that goes along the edge of the map as well. So, but this one goes through the middle of it more or less. and it avoids every single bridge. So actually all credit for that as well. I was expecting that to go through bridges. Water flow, unusually for a vanilla map, a DLC map as well. Very light water flow at the start square there. Very, very light. So if you're looking for strong water flow, not the map for you, but of course there are alternative solutions for dealing with your sewage and stuff as well. So yes, lots of dotted island. I kind of like the design of these islands. The shapes of them, the way they link up, interchange. Again, it's a fantasy archipelago rather than a realistic one. But again, why not? Why not? It's just for fun, isn't it? It's all for fun. As maps go, not the biggest build space. There are some larger islands, as you can see. But it could be some fun to play this one. I don't think it really entices me, and I know a lot of you would be wanting for more build space. I'm going to go low 3. I was going to say high 2 then. I'm going low 3 stars for that one. Now this one, this is the best and the worst in equal measures. I just don't know what to say about it. Well, anyway, the Dust Bowl from the Natural Disasters DLC. It's one of those maps that it's playable, definitely in terms of that, and it's uninspiring. We'll get down there and you look and you go, I don't see any reason to want to play this one. Sorry for the darkness of this one, but there is an intersection down there. I had the light setting set badly for that screenshot. And then your resources, again, very light indeed. I guess it's all about disasters. This map is a bit of a disaster though, I'm going to let you know. So first of all, inspiring. Are you inspired to want to build here? Well, the whole map is going to look a bit like this. And I guess if it's a dust bowl, it's because a lot of the map doesn't have access to any water. So I'm guessing that's where that comes from. Probably, maybe. Could have gone with some more sandy areas here and there, possibly, just to make it look a bit drier. But it just doesn't inspire, does it? There's nothing to make you want to shape a city. And so that's what I mean by it not an inspiring map. Again, though, there's plenty of build space and it's not really hilly, so that's a good thing. So it's good because you can build a big city here. We've got a river running through, we've got a couple of coastlines. There's a lot of good things going for it. And yet, look at it. Just look at it. It's just a bit... Well, just look at it. It just doesn't really grab you and say, you've got the first one, all those hills, you go, how the hell am I going to build on here? And you've got your brain is retching and pulling itself apart. It's your start square, by the way, pulling itself apart, trying to find a way of working with it. And the second one, how am I going to build on these little islands? And your brain again is working, trying to put the map together. Here, it just doesn't do anything. But on the other side of it, you've got loads of room to build. It's a real paradox. Also, in terms of natural disasters, look at this river. Now, is this start of map water flow problems? That's what I'm asking. Is that just because we've started the map up and the water is yet to settle? Now, those of you that know me will know that I'll come back and check that later and give it a chance to settle down. So, now, if it were a feature, if that river was supposed to be like that, I'm sure it would be called the Choppy River or Rivers from Hell or something, not the Dust Bowl. So I'm pretty sure that's not an intentional feature, but we'll go back and check it later anyway. We have, similarly to the first map, we have a second highway which loops around and does not connect up with the first highway. So once again, if you are connecting your city via these two highways and then just through the city, you'll get a lot of traffic running through your cities from the edge of the map to the edge of the map using whatever shortcut you provide for them. So just bear that one in mind, that you'll probably want to find a traffic solution to filter the traffic away. So yeah, that loops off. And again, I'm not sure why we don't have any traffic running down here, because you can see we are actually connected at both ends. We have shipping, and the shipping is fine actually. I don't really know what more to say apart from it's fine, just follows the coast at a sensible distance. So all credit for that one. And on the opposite side as well, you can see we've got a loop. We've got a little bit of, don't worry about that. This is a water control thing where we've got a barrier around the outside holding the water. And then we can have the water being pushed down the river. And that little hole there, that's to allow the ships to come in and out. So I don't have a problem with that really. Okay, so this choppy water, let's give it a chance to settle down. Actually, let's have a little look around the rest of the map first, and then give it a chance to settle down while we talk about the map as a whole. So yes, this uninspiring blank of land is, well, it's uninspiring. Uninspiring is uninspiring. This river is the thing. This river is definitely the thing. That has got to sort itself out. So let's just settle the camera down and probably hitch up the speed a little bit to 2000% and just let the water sort itself out. So anyway, in terms of maps, I mean, does this really inspire you to get stuck in and build? One thing actually I have noticed about this particular map is there's no bridges, which is surprising. It's like the map with the river that doesn't actually have a bridge, while the bridges in the other maps are a very high standard. So that's just something. Anyway, as you'll see here, the water sorted itself out, flooding has cleared, and we're now getting a second batch of ripples. This is either brilliant because natural disasters or not. Now I'm suspecting it's not actually intended, because these natural disasters, you're supposed to be able to fix them, work with them, preempt them, all that sort of stuff. This one, you can't fix it. Well, you can using vanilla tools, but it'd be very expensive to do it in game. And all you'll be doing is basically fixing what is a broken river system. It is all told though an uninspiring map with a broken river. That's the only way of putting this one, isn't it? It's as a paradox, because you look at this one, look at this picture, and you compare this with the other ones, and you say, this is the one that I would build on. And then you realise that you probably wouldn't. The Dust Bowl from Natural Disasters DLC, I can't give this anything higher than a 2, and I was very tempted to go down to 1 star. But let's go 2. Deal with the flooding, guys. Deal with it. So that's it from the natural disasters. We've still got some more DLCs to come, so keep watching out. And yes, what map will be returning at the end of August for the daily show? Well, we'll check out your map builds where you're making some really good stuff while I'm off. I've seen some really lovely maps coming out that I want to check out, so do join me when what map returns. And don't forget, we'll be doing some other stuff such as Wreckfest on a daily basis in the meantime. Thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome, and I will see you very, very soon.